Okay, hello there everybody. It's Matthew Coates here, guitar lessons, mainly for my Sunderland schools and my County Durham schools, just to help students and pupils, private pupils, get through this time of there being no lessons. So I'm going to start with a quick check of the tuning, so you can play this as many times you need to. So here's the E string, here's the B string, here's the G string, here's the D string, here's the A string, and here's the E string. Remember, we've talked about head, H-E-A-D, and we did that little exercise at the beginning, EBGB. Okay, now then, a lot of you have been working on the initial grade pieces with the Trinity College London. So basically we've looked at Salsa Party, so I'll play Salsa Party just so you get the feel of it. So here it is. There now. Now you'll notice when I've been playing that, there's these little curly F's and curly P's, or italic F's and P's in the music, and a cresque as well. Well, the F's stand for forte, which is the Italian for loud. The curly P's, as we've talked about, stand for piano, which means quiet. And then cresque at bar 11, that means we gradually get louder as we enter bar 13. And then at the very end, there's a couple of arrowheads above the C and the B, and underneath the A, that is accented. So you really got to play those. Yep. Now that last one, did you notice it was short and detached? So it's quick. So there's a little tiny dot underneath, which means staccato, which means short and detached. So that's like an ending like that. There we are. Okay, so that's Salsa Party. You can play that. As I say, we've done a lot of it in the lessons, so that's good. Now, the next main tune that we've looked at is called Helping Hand. That was another popular one because it was good because it was one we could play together. So basically, here we go. This is your part. Now, a lot of these pieces are based on the scales as well. So this uses the scale of G. So we've got this. Talked about practicing that scale. You can see the scale in the first 3 bars, so that's great. Okay, so I'll quickly play through it just so you can hear it, and I'll talk about a couple of things about it. Now, please remember when you're playing this, finger numbers. We know what the notes are, and okay, the notes are written above to help you and gradually get to know them, but we've got finger numbers, so we must remember that obviously with the first open G, we're playing it open. You know, it's that. It's not going to be this one. Think about the way the ladder of music is on the musical stave. Anyway, here we go. So. Two, three, and. Okay, so you get that there. You can see how that goes. Now you'll notice I said 2 after these minim notes. That's the ones that aren't coloured in with a tail. So you've got G, G, A, 2, B, B, C, 2. Because we play on beat 1 and then we say 2 after it. So that's what I'm trying to help you with, these rhythms. Remember, Mr. Remember when we did the name rhythms, okay? Yeah, Mr. Coates, Mr. Coates. etc. And we know what we do, mentioning no names. So in this piece, we've got MPs, moderately loud, which means mezzo piano. So that's moderately quiet. We've got a cresque at bar 5, 6, 7, bar 8. Bar 9 goes back to moderate mezzo forte, moderately loud. And then we come to the end and we get what's called a diminuendo. Now, diminuendo is the opposite of crescendo, and it gradually becomes quieter, which actually I maybe didn't do, but there's a tester for you. And then the rallentando, Italian for gradually slowing down. So I'm going to play the second guitar part, so you pupils that have done some practice, and I know who they are, so you pupils that have done the practice, you can play along to this. So here we go, we're going to take it nice and steady. It's moderato at the top there of the piece, 96 beats per minute, which means that we're going to take it at a moderate pace as though we're just walking, which we need to do at the minute. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that gives you a basic idea there, with a little diminuendo at the end. Okay, we're going to now move on to another tune we've been looking at, which was La Tortue, which basically, as one of my pupils told me, is to do with Sinbad or something, or Arabian Nights. So it's got like a feel of that. So I'll play this. Now again, some of you are looking at this one, some of you aren't. So the ones that are, I'll play it to you and it'll just let you hear it. Okay, so again, in that piece, there's a lot of feeling. I know we've had a laugh in the lesson, me and being quite dramatic about it, and it, really being like that. So there's the sound of it. There are some mezzo fortes, there are some pianos, there's the word echo there. You get that a lot in music where you get a repeated little phrase, little musical idea. Then there's that. There's that little echo, and again a rallentando at the end of it. Yeah, right. Okay, now we started a piece called Gypsy Dance, which we thought was great because it includes E, A, and D, which I've mentioned. Head at the top of the guitar, E, A, D, H, E, A, D. Okay, so again, this starts off forte. There's a crescendo, there's some piano in it. So yeah, let's see what that sounds like. Now, it's essential with this to make sure, because remember when we started with walking fingers, resting the thumb on the 6th string, trying to train the thumb to stay where it is, and also to these walking fingers, okay, which is in the pieces. In all the pieces, you'll see little italics I and italics M, which means these walking fingers. Remember, talking about the late Michael Jackson moonwalk, things like that. So watch this. Let's just see. So here it starts with, now it runs at quite a busy pace, this, but I'll just play it slightly slower, just so that you can hear it. So here we go. Notice as well there's a little P under that circled A. Notice I've circled the notes on your music so that you know that the lower notes, because with guitar music, unlike piano music, it's all sandwiched into one stave. Okay, 5 lines and 4 spaces. So here we go. So watch this. 3. Yeah, see? So it's that, obviously. It'll go at that pace eventually, which is double the minutes on your clock. So again, we've got a few things going on with that, but you notice what I'm doing there with my thumb. See, that thumb is playing on these 3 strings. So you got E, A, and D. And then, of course, these are able to play that open E. So make sure that's happening. You can do simple exercises whereby you're going. So my thumb is doing the bass E, 2 open E's on the first string, then the bass A, 2 open E's on the first string, bass D, 2 open E's on the first string. Okay? Now they're the main pieces we're looking at. However, I have got some students that are looking at Inca Dawn. So I'm going to play that one just so that person knows how that sounds. Now, again, it's a bit like Gypsy Dance. It's got that bass and then treble line. But what you're doing in it, you're doing a little flick of that I index finger, which makes it look quite fancy. I'm just flicking. Imagine you're flicking a pea off a table. Not a very good idea, but imagine you're flicking a little ball, a piece of paper or something like that, or doing that off a table. There, I'm doing it off my knee. That's all it is. So I'll play Inca Dawn, and then at least you can play it back. We will look at it in more detail over the coming weeks. But anyway, it's this. Inca Dawn. Okay, so again, you can play that back, look at it, notice I've used dynamics in it as well. The other one with one or 2 pupils was the Finnish folk song, similar to Salsa Party. So this one goes like this. Look at that. There's those bass notes. Quite dramatic, the Finnish folk song. So yeah, there's still that HEAD using it. Okay, and we've got to look for moderately loud mezzo pianos, moderately quiet mezzo. I've got that wrong way around. Mezzo forte, moderately loud, mezzo piano, moderately quiet. And there's the little hairpin symbol, or in maths, greater than sign, which means another way of putting crescendo, gradually getting loud. And then there's these little funny symbols that look like a half circle with a dot in. That means you kind of hold on to the note and enjoy that those minims. Right, okay, the last tune that I'm going to put on here is for another couple of pupils, is The Rising Sun. Okay, now The Rising Sun, based on House of the Rising Sun by the Animals. Many moons ago, your grandparents and your parents will have heard of it. So there's some good fun tunes in this book that actually, as I'm saying, parents and grandparents will appreciate. Anyway, this is a great arrangement of it, and it goes like this. Okay, so in Rising Sun, that's got the word sadly used at the top of that, at the top of the piece there. And notice we've got what's called at the very end, you play it to the end, but there's a little one with a box over it. That basically over the bar means first time bar. You go back to the beginning, you play it again. Notice it says italics P on the music, piano on repeat, which means you'll play it quieter on repeat. And that lovely, that slide. So what you do there, you play the G note, okay, which is on the 3rd fret. So 1, 2, 3, there's fret 3. Play and slide to 5. Whoops, that wasn't right. There we are. See how I corrected that? I got it wrong the first time, got it right the next time. That's what you've always got to do with practice. Get it right. It even happens to me on many occasions, but it's that persistent, and we've got time on our hands, so we've got time to get things right. This is the good thing about this. Now, there's a word called rit, and it says second time. That means, it's a bit like rallentando. Ritorando means to hold back, so you hold it back. Okay, so I think hopefully I've covered most of the work. There's one more piece I'm going to play to one student that I've got who is actually working on the next book, and I'll just play it now just so they know how the tune goes. And this is called Joy to the World. So there we go. Great George Frederick Handel there. Lovely piece. So again, played with quite dramatic feel, but again, that's an idea for another pupil that I've got. So anyway, I'm going to end this video now. Obviously, this is just intended to help people who want to keep on going, and obviously I want them to keep on going through these difficult times with their playing and their practice, and hopefully it'll help us through it. Okay, there'll be another video uploaded next Monday where we will go into more detail with the pieces, talk about scales as well, because there's scales that we need to know which help, and I'll see you next week. Okay, thank you for watching. Goodbye, and look after yourselves and keep practicing. Okay,